Hello, welcome to another Hail Mary Happy Hour. With me, your manager, Josh, your co-manager, Tyler, and our special guest for the week, new and improved lawyer, Andrew Umanzer. Hi, Andrew.
Happy to be here, guys. We got the Moscow Mule today. Ready for the happy
Oh,
hour.
hell yeah. I'm sitting here with a pie scraper by Night Shift. You know,
We're emptying out the fridge before I move, so I got the Voodoo Ranger here, but we got the little hazies on deck. So
oh, he's ready.
What
All
percent
right.
is the Blue Ranger?
I went for the lower percent one, which is still like I think 7.5. But
Yeah.
they had like a 9.3, and I was like, yeah, no, that's a little much.
No.
I
Yeah.
like Voodoo Ranger, but it's not my favorite. I really only drink it once in a while, and when I drink it, I only have like one at a time. Very, very strong.
Yeah, it's not one to. The very strong beers have fallen off for me. Like the real, like, I used to be like, yeah, triple IPA.
For me, it's just
I-
it's about the flavor. It has nothing to do with the name.
Yeah,
it's about
exactly.
that taste.
This,
But you know,
To me, it's the purpose.
It wouldn't be a
Drinking to
football
get drunk.
podcast if we weren't drinking. So.
oh, yeah.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers. And cheers to all of you out there. I hope you had a lovely week. Now, on to the show. Couple things. One, again, as I mentioned, Andrew, lawyer now. Recently started a new job about a month ago. And yeah, you've graduated the law schools. You've taken the bar. We're waiting on the results. How are you doing? How's the
Good,
life?
good. Settling into the new apartment. I'm up in Syracuse, New York, back where I've been here for 8 years. Started at Smith Sovic. That's my law firm. If you guys get in any accidents in the state of New York, you can call me. Other states, don't call me.
Okay.
And yeah, life is good.
Nice. And it's your 2-year anniversary recently. Congrats, Andrew, on that.
So cute.
Thank you,
So
thank you.
cute.
Anyone that knows Megan, she's nice.
Lovely.
Honestly, yeah. But yeah, congratulations on that. Other celebratory news: we have Tyler about to move to his final location of the year in New Jersey.
Yes. Not the next podcast, but the one after that. That's going to be the permanent location. So, you know what's crazy is we're going to have one more new location. Next week, this will be coming to you from my hotel in Jersey. So, we got one more mobile podcast episode coming to you.
So I believe that's going to be 5 different locations over the course of shooting this podcast, right?
I've lost track.
I'm pretty sure it's 5 because I think you've only repeated once. So
Yeah.
yeah, like 5 episodes. Yeah. Wow. And then the least exciting news, my company got bought, which is fun. Doesn't really matter to any of you because none of you
Congratulations.
are chemists. But yeah, I got a raise. It's cool. Now, that's enough of that. On to the football. It was a fun week of football. Primarily, it was fun to watch some revenge stories. I watched Sam Darnold beat the Jets that gave up on him as Aaron Rodgers shit the bed, throwing 2 interceptions in the first quarter for the first time in his entire career. That was a wonderful thing. Not that Sam Darnold did awesome. We'll get to that later. But that happened. We had DJ Moore scoring 2 touchdowns on his old team in the Panthers. And we had Stephon Diggs, not going crazy, but putting up 80 yards against the Bills as they made some questionable choices later in the game to flub it against the Texans.
Yeah,
But
can we touch on that? Because we were just talking about that, and I was unaware of this before we were chatting pre-episode. So can you recap with me what happened at the end of that game again?
all right, so trigger warning for Jordan. Holy shit, what are the Bills doing? Josh Allen goes down late in the game and is knocked out. Tyler, you watched the clip.
Yeah, crazy how his head just bounced off the turf, dude.
Yeah. You know how people definitely reach out to catch themselves with the back of their hand. Yeah, that's what a conscious person does. Yeah, definitely got knocked out. Goes to the tent. Whatever neurologist on scene, I assume, is looking at him. And one play later, so one missed pass later, he runs back out on the field. Have we not learned? As an owner of Tyreek Hill, watching Tua, have we not learned that we just, like, these concussions, they're shortening his career. They're risking just throwing away their season if he gets hit again, honestly.
Remember last week how we were literally talking about if Josh Allen is a Hall of Famer or not, and we were talking about he could get injured, like he has to play longer. I don't want to say we did that, but
so here's one way to wreck that. But thankfully, he did come in and he did promptly throw 3 incompletions, getting rid of no time on the clock and letting the Texans run down the field for a field goal to win the game. Oof. Throw down in the comments, specifically Jordan. I just wanted one crying emoji from you. If you listen.
Let's get some F's in the chat.
Let's get some F's in the chat. But yeah, rough time there. The AFC East in general, not awesome. I don't know if you saw the stats of the Patriots-Dolphins game, but essentially both of them on offense either score 31st or last on everything.
Yeah,
Points per game,
I saw
yards
that
per
Jacoby
game,
Brissett had
everything.
like 87 passing yards.
Yeah, and then we have, the Jets aren't doing too hot. Bills started off hot and are falling. But,
Remember last year pre-Aaron Rodgers injury when they were talking about like the Bills, the Dolphins, and the Jets were like 3 of the best teams in the AFC?
Yeah.
How the mighty
And a lot of the sentiment came into this year too, right? But like people thought the Bills might fall off, but they were like, "Oh, it's Aaron Rodgers' time, and the Dolphins are the Dolphins."
I feel like next on the Jets, but people were expecting playoffs from most of these teams, so
yeah, and oof, yeah, not great. But enough of real football. We're here for the fake football, the fantasy football, and we have our first trade of the regular season happening right now. Andrew, you're involved in this trade. Tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty equal-sided trade. I think that the two of you will definitely agree. We have... Also, I just want to say real quick, there's no way Josh Allen's going to be a Hall of Famer. The way he plays, he's going to get injured. Like, he can't... I don't even care about him being in the Hall of Fame. He's not going to play 13 years in the NFL. That's all it is. It's just the length. If there's a Hall of Fame for 7-year quarterbacks, sure. But
7-year quarterbacks who don't win Super Bowls.
I do.
He would be the Charles Barkley of the NFL.
Listen, I have a soft spot for the Joshes, and I do agree Josh Allen is a maniac that probably will be injured and out of the league in the next 4-ish years. But I believe in him, man. But it is also why I like people like Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson runs, but he runs safe.
He's so smart.
It's a beautiful thing. And he had such a good play. He stiff-armed a defensive end this week. Like, stiff-armed a guy to the ground in the backfield and then threw a touchdown pass. It was really cool.
Not to get off on a tangent, but he was the first guy I ever noticed in high school who I tracked go to the league. Did you guys ever see that Lamar Jackson highlight where he's running towards the end zone and then he just stops right away and walks in?
Yes.
That was the first time. Like, oh my God, that guy's going to be really good. And then I found it was Lamar Jackson, and now he's like...
Yeah.
I didn't know that was Lamar Jackson until right now. I don't know if I knew that.
Yeah. I did because I have him in a dynasty league, and you watch all the clips of your players to try to convince you that you're good at it. But
Andy, this trade, what is going on?
This trade.
All right, so I'm giving Matt Simmons of Bongside Kicks. So it's the two lowest in the league right now.
Yeah, I like it. Both teams trying to shake things up,
Yeah.
So Matt will receive Keenan Allen, the next year's 16th overall pick, and $20 of fab in exchange for Jalen Waddle and next year's 13th overall pick to me. I think this is a pretty even trade because obviously Jalen Waddle is better than Keenan Allen right now, and so is the 13th pick for the 16th pick. But where that kind of gets supplemented is that this trade will process in time for Matt to have over 100 fab dollars, where he will then be able to get Devontae Adams onto his team. So this is Keenan Allen, the 16th pick, and Devontae Adams for Jalen Waddle and the 13th pick.
Okay. So I'm going to make my quick argument for why this is an absolute bullshit trade.
Yeah.
So one, let's look at the fact that you're saying that it's okay because he's getting Devontae Adams. You're not giving him Devontae Adams. He does not need to give you, you're still getting so much more out of this. You're not providing him Devontae Adams. Additionally, you two both have very low win rates right now. You two are very different teams. You have the most points scored in this league. He has the second least. There is no reason he should be playing for this year. If you two were swapping picks the other way, that might make sense. He wants to improve his next year. But he is getting Devontae Adams purely to not lose right now. So you getting Jalen Waddle in a position where you'll be able to probably hold out until when Jalen Waddle is an actual quarterback when Tua comes back makes this such a better trade for you. Insanely. And Keenan ain't shit. He's trending towards the wide R3 on his team.
Well, I just want to clarify something that you said, which is I'm not giving him Devontae Adams. I'm giving him the exclusivity of having Devontae Adams. He will be able to bid $101, and therefore I give him the potential to have the exclusive rights of Devontae Adams.
So let me put it like this. I honestly don't even know how much one of these costs, but I'm going to say I have $450, Andy, right? You give me $50, and then I go and buy a PS5. And then you go around telling people that you gave me a PS5 because you gave me the last $50, so therefore you gave me the PS5.
That's such a bad analogy.
That's exactly what you did.
I think that
there's only one Devontae Adams. There's a million PS5s. They all have a standard cost of $500.
That's not the point. The point is that he could get. The point is that he could get the $16. He doesn't need the 20. He needs $16 of fab. He could get that in a trade that has way more value to him.
He could get it from anyone for better players. You absolutely did not set up a good trade here.
Well, I just want to address Tyler real quick, which is he could totally get it from anyone. I actually proposed 16. He wanted 20. So I gave him 20 because he asked for 20.
Wow, you negotiator, you.
Hey, I'm putting it out there. All right. I'm being honest. But when it comes to he could do this from everyone, I completely agree. But he did it with me, and we did it on the time frame that I know we're not going to get into the granular timings of this, but we did it on a time frame that we thought would be appropriate for the trade.
That's fair. I can understand that there were probably some rush decisions made in this trade.
I'll delve into that slightly just to be clear to people. Time frame of trades 24 hours to counteroffer. After that 24 hours, the trade will be pushed through. The app will push it through later on, but I will push it through as the manager as the commissioner after 24 hours. No. Yeah, we won't get into that. But I also feel like you may have used your rush decisions to kind of force him into this. Because
it's the opposite of rush decisions.
again,
It's the opposite of rush decisions. 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 It's the opposite of rush deci
yeah, now that he has,
We intentionally waited on the trade.
that's absurd. There's just no worlds where this is a fair trade. Even if we look at Devontae Adams for Jalen Waddle, yes, Devontae Adams is better, but he's also equally as we don't know where he's going to go as Jalen Waddle is. We don't know when Tua's coming back. Devontae Adams could go to a team and suck, just like Jalen Waddle could just suck. Like,
Yeah.
and you also want a pick swap on top of that for a team.
But the likelihood of Devontae Adams going, he doesn't have a hamstring injury. Let's be real. There's no way this dude
He's
is out
not
with a
injured. Yeah.
He's fine. All right. So wherever he's going to go, he's going to be a top 2, top 3 wide receiver there. And to go back to this whole PS4 argument there, PS5
Wherever
argument,
he's going, he's going to be a top 2, top 3. Waddle is the top 2.
on a team with Snoop Huntley throwing the ball.
Tua's expected to be back in a couple weeks.
Yeah, well, I think that's ridiculous. The guy should retire. I mean, how many?
But he's not. The fact of the matter is, he's not.
God.
I know, but what's to stop him from getting another concussion?
Dang, why'd you trade for Waddle then? That's crazy.
Because I have the ability to wait, like you just said. I put up. Am I at 200 yet?
Retire. Why would you trade for if he's not going to come back? You know?
Why would Waddle retire?
No, Tua.
No, I'm saying I understand the risk. I'm saying that I can absorb the risk more than I can absorb the risk with Waddle right now. So he's getting Allen, who is a healthy wide receiver 3, but still had talent, and then also Adams.
Listen, man, I would have been okay with it, honestly, if you didn't do the pick swap. But the fact that you're trying to take his season next year too is what's insane to me.
Oh my God, it's his 13th
Those are fighting
pick.
words. Damn, that's
Who did you draft in the 13th
All right,
round?
Josh, he's got a point on that one.
No, I agree. No, that's a principle of the thing. It
Yeah,
won't
it
matter.
still feels like a kick in the nuts on an already bad trade.
It's a kick in the nuts, and
He doesn't have to accept it.
we'll see. Hey, you know what? We got another 5 hours for a counter offer to go through, so we'll see if the trade goes through.
No.
When this episode comes out, we'll see how it fell. But who could say? But moving on. I think that's enough of this. And I mean, in other news, by the way, this trade revolves around the fact that Devontae Adams has dropped, which Victor.
Oh yeah,
What the fuck, man?
bro.
You have IR spots.
Victor's not
You got
listening. to
Kendra
this
Miller.
podcast.
I am going to text this to you, Victor. I'm going to text this link and nothing else to you, Victor. I'm going to text this to Eve.
All right, that might work.
I'm going
work.
to text this link to Eve.
Well,
And I'm going to say, Eve, you should listen to this. This is fun. And this is me berating Victor. Because why are you also winning with this shit?
he's that good, dude. He's just flexing
God.
on us. Dropping Devontae is just a flex.
Yeah, just a flex, dude. Anyway, moving on from that. God damn it, Victor. Into my favorite editing of the video. Josh's. Guys that were bad at football. I got you, Tyler. He's got a long week this week. I'm not going to give him a long one.
Appreciate it.
Now this is a guy that played poorly, but he did the job, and that's Sam Darnold. He beat his old team. He helped me win. I mean, I can't really fault the guy for that. What more can you ask for Sam Darnold? You know, he's leading them on their 5-0 season so far, and he went in and beat the Jets. His old team proved to them that he's better than Aaron Rodgers now. Sucks to suck, Aaron. Shout out to the Aaron Rodgers hate club.
I feel like this was the most like positive bed shitter that you've had so far. Like you're just
I almost
'cause it
made him
helps
my
you win. You're just so excited.
It is. I almost made him my big man of the week.
That would have been funny. I mean, I don't know. I feel like what's even more ironic is that Sam Darnold won. Like Sam Darnold had his revenge game.
Yeah,
But
he
it's
did it.
specifically for his fantasy managers that he took a massive dumpy this week.
Yeah, he didn't do it. But I love Sam Darnold. Last year he lost me $5 because I bet that he would overtake Brock Purdy for the starting job in San Francisco.
Oof.
I maybe believed it a little too hard. And now he's good. So, but he wasn't this week. And he helped me there. And that's all for him. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate it. And now on to the big man, super cool guy of the week. And it's a redemption arc for Garrett Wilson, who was the bed shitter last week. But in the same game with Sam Darnold, decided to come in and actually do something. Even though Aaron Rodgers was throwing interceptions like no one's business. I mean, London seems to change people. Sam Darnold's shit, Garrett Wilson's good. Aaron Rodgers, shitter than usual.
Brees Hall, shitter than usual.
Brees Hall, shitter than usual.
The Jets suck.
I mean, the Jets are so bad.
Jones.
I hate the Jets.
Yeah, Aaron Jones going down.
I don't want to talk about that, man.
Dude. Oh, yeah, man. Say,
Oh,
hey,
Andy, we never even brought up the fact that you cooked me this week.
Yeah, also,
We just
Andrew
never even
putting up.
spoke about that.
Yeah, side note on.
Last week, I got over 200 points, and the McConkeys were not mentioned. And my first win, and the McConkeys were not mentioned once.
Well, we were talking to your competitor. Your competitor was the guest. We wanted to be respectful. But yeah, speaking of big man's redemption arcs, the Bengals. Holy.
And they still lost in real life.
Yeah. I had money on that game on the Ravens. So that was a wild finish.
Good for you.
Watching Lamar fumble a snap, the Bengals get it, and then the holder fumbles the hold for the field goal, misses that, and then Derrick Henry just decides to run off. I believe we're going to be discussing that. Oh, no, that was a discussion with Sam Losh who's also in this league, who actually had some money, had a bet on Derrick Henry on the over of his rushing yards, which was 60. And after Derrick Henry's overtime 40-something yard run, he ended up with 61 rushing yards on the day after the overtime fumble.
No
So
way.
Sam Wash came in with the last second win off of a wild turn of events. And we'll be getting into, you two are big into betting, and we'll get into that in a minute. But first, the power rankings. Right? We did the power rankings again. And we'll run through them quick. Tyler, I've talked a lot on these in this last segment. How would you run us through our power rankings? Real quick.
Absolutely. Josh, we try to kick this off from the top or the bottom?
You know what? Let's do the top because I specifically like the correlation between this week and week 3 that they've kind of held true. The last time we did power rankings, half of them have held true.
A lot of them are pretty accurate still, which is interesting. Speaking of accuracy, we got our number 1 team in the league, most wins, most points for. Actually, not most points.
No,
my bad.
no, it isn't.
Just most wins. But an excellent job managing overall, and that's the Basement Gremlins with their 5 wins.
Yeah, the
Second most points for, I believe.
The matchup for who stayed undefeated was probably one of the lamest matchups of the week. One with a solid 135 points. Would have lost almost any other matchup against the winner, but we are undefeated. Let's go. My team is broken.
That's all right.
It's rough, bud.
This will just happen, and then some random player is going to drop 50 on you in the playoffs. Like some unknown running back.
Yeah.
It's how it happens every year.
True.
But yeah, you're cooking right now. There's no question about that. Second in the power rankings, and again, this was our second in week 3, and I don't know how. It's the Notorious Scoundrels. The team that drops Devontae Adams is somehow the team that is third in points and has 4 wins. Andy, what's your thoughts on that?
It's so upsetting. It's like when you have a girlfriend join the league and then she like goes off. It's like, what are we doing here, guys?
He's the only person that fully 100% auto drafted.
And we know he's not checking. We know he's not listening to this. We know he's not checking the chat.
He will once I send this to Eve.
I'm looking at the team too, and it's all people I like definitely didn't believe in coming into the year. Like I didn't believe in Olave. I didn't believe in Tony Pollard or T. Higgins or Chuba Hubbard. I mean, they're all people that smart fantasy managers go, Chuba Hubbard isn't going to do shit.
I'll wait on him.
Chuba Hubbard's like the 6th rated, like
He did not keep a single player, by the way.
Chuba Hubbard's the number 8 running back in football. What? What are we doing?
Josh, it
This
can't be
man-
100% auto draft if you keep someone. Goes against the strategy.
This man drafted Jonathan Taylor last year. In like, I think the 4th round. Could have kept him in the 3rd or something. No, didn't need to. Killing it. Lamar Jackson, going crazy. Baker Mayfield, sure. Baker Mayfield, Chris Godwin stacked, somehow insane.
Yeah.
It's fine. Tyler, up next. We
Can I
have
say one thing about him real quick?
Okay.
He put up 177 points with Gibbs, Ridley, Laporta, and Pollard on bye this week.
Yep.
Why is this team good?
Yep. After dropping Devontae Adams.
All right, hold up. This actually brings up the serious debate of, is auto draft just smarter than any of us?
No, it's always been just auto draft, you'll be fine. But god damn it.
Maybe I'm
This
doing
is
too much. But
fine.
in our third spot, coming up next, again with a repeat. So our power rankings from week 3 are still true. Josh and I know something about football, it turns out. But it is the SCLSU Mud Dogs. Again, it's our other 4-win team. 700 points for roughly on the season. So they're doing pretty good right now. Had they won this week, would they be higher? Is the question. Probably.
You'd have to put them number 1, I'd say. In my opinion, if you're undefeated, you go to if you're undefeated after 5 weeks and the only one.
Yeah, no, probably
You're at the top.
could have been the number 1 team this week. But you didn't win, and you're at number 3. But I mean, still one of the top teams in the league right now. Definitely one of the teams making a strong championship push. You know. Andy, if we're looking at betting odds right now, if we were talking about this league, 1, can you give me a line for the Mud Dogs to win? And 2, can you give me a Gremlins versus the field line?
Ooh. See, it's tough. I'm biased because I've put up 400 points in the last 2 weeks, so I feel like I kind of break the line. But I would say that Gremlins versus the field, I would give Gremlins like a plus 600 versus the field right now, maybe plus 500. SCLSU Mud Dogs to win it all. Probably give them like plus 600 plus. I'd give them even odds with the Gremlins. I think that they're right there. Looking at their team, I think that they have a lot of people who like. They're sure to give you good points every week. You get Justin Jefferson, you get Daniels and McLaurin. I mean,
That stack.
they're gonna be in contention no matter what they do.
Yeah. My boy Sam Darnold.
Absolutely. Coming up though, in our 4th spot, it's a team that's on the rise right now, really starting to turn things around and at the right time. You know, it's really just about making the playoffs. Anything can happen. Only 2 wins, but it's She Loves My McConkey. And before
Go.
anyone's wondering how this team got into the 4th spot with only 2 wins, it's because they have the most points for in the league. Only team with over 800 points, over 50 points more than the 2nd place team. We got to watch out. I mean, this was a team that I was personally huge on. I feel like this was either my number 1 or 2 team in our first week of power rankings. So.
In our first week, this was our number 3 because we wanted to put ourselves. No, we each raised it. We each had ourselves as 1, and then we both had him as 2, and the other one of us is 3.
Yeah,
so we averaged
we
it
put
out.
him at 2. We put him at 2 because I was 3 and you were 1.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, tough start to the season, but certainly coming around. Andy, your team is on the rise right now. How are you feeling, man?
With Jalen Waddle now, I'm going to be great. No, I'm kidding. No, I feel good. I think that we're finally healthy. Rashee Rice is out, so that gives me Kelsey. Christian Kirk woke up. The Bengals. Honestly, what I need now is just the Bengals to win a game, because what I'm really fearing is the Bengals just throw away the season because they're 1 in whatever in real life. So as long as everything goes well there, the McConkeys are looking great. As long as we slide into playoffs, we might as well be the 1 seed, but we will not get the 1 seed.
I don't know. At this rate, you might.
Yeah, you never know what can happen down the line. I mean, what are we playing? 12 regular season games? 14.
17, 16. Yeah, 14. 14.
That's,
14.
That's 9 more games, man. You never know what's going to happen.
There's a good chance you end up the 1 seed.
Honestly, that's the exciting thing about still being this early in the season is even our 1-win teams aren't completely out of this right now,
Yeah, exactly. And
speaking
if we look
teams,
speaking of the 1-win teams, reverse from the bottom?
No.
All
right, so coming up next in these power rankings here, this is a team that's slid up quite a few spots from where they were at the start of the season. One of the biggest changes, the biggest rise for sure, moving 4 spots up. Now in the 5th overall spot, we got GGG, Grandy's Gold Galleons. 690 points for, just on the cusp of that 700. They have more points for than any of our remaining teams. They also have more wins than any of our remaining teams. 3 wins on this season. This is a team that had a lot of lottery tickets, and a lot of those lottery tickets are cashing in right now. I mean, even with Malik Neighbors out on injury when he bounces back, this team's got a lot of firepower.
Yeah, I mean, Neighbors is the big one that just paid off for this team in a big way.
Odunze's on the rise, though. I mean,
Odunze is
earlier. DJ Moore's looking at the wide R3 spot right now. I mean, if he keeps working like he's working right now, he's going to be a serious asset for this team.
Yeah. He's still got Penix on that bench, and I just don't think Penix needs to be on a bench right now. But
dude, what's crazy is that on his bench, he only has 1 player who actually played this week.
Oh, dude, wait till we get to the Aaron Rodgers.
I know the segment. Yeah. But
oh my God,
we're way down the power rankings. We'll talk about that team sooner rather than later. But not next, because next up we got the Charmin Ultra Softies. I believe we are now down to our 6th spot. This is one of the 2-win teams in the league. They have slightly more points for than the team below them. I don't know how I feel about this ranking. I feel like we could have flip-flopped these teams. Josh, you got a reason for this?
You have the same record and one has more points for. It's as simple as that.
But with only a 10-point margin, you would really think that one would examine the rosters closer and make conclusions. So please, you must have something to say.
Well, personally, I still think that there's more room for Anthony Richardson to grow. He has been really bad this start of the year and has been out for a couple weeks. I think that Anthony Richardson is kind of a centerpiece of the Charmin Ultra Softies, as well as Josh Allen, who hasn't been playing at his best. So I think there just is a lot of room for this team to grow. They picked up Kareem Hunt, who is actually playing very well for the Chiefs right now. and they have Bucky Irving on the bench. So
The addition of
they're playing
Kareem Hunt
smart.
is definitely huge.
Yeah, if they're playing smart, I think that there's a chance that they can actually rise up these rankings.
You know,
And
that's a fair analysis.
yeah,
Josh,
Can I also add?
yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Can I also add? Granny's has CMC, who might come back. So that's another reason why they could
Granny
be up.
says CMC, which I have Jordan Mason right now, who is gonna just be gone like that once he comes back. I'm hoping that I can last until Jonathan Brooks becomes, something.
relevant.
Yep.
Yeah. Before we move on, though, Josh, I do have to ask about the allegations. Some people have gone on record of saying you are an Anthony Richardson stan. How do you respond to this?
Ooh, I don't know who's gone on that record, but I'm a Joe Flacco stan, 100%. He led my Browns to the playoffs. He was the single bright spot in the last couple years since they got Deshaun Watson. Aside from Nick Chubb, but the Steelers decided to kill him because they were jealous. And as much as I do think Anthony Richardson is an athletic freak that can do great things, those great things are not football. Joe Flacco is a couch potato that can do great things. One great thing, and that great thing is football.
Gotta love Flacco.
Give me Joe Flacco.
Speaking
Who
of
the fuck said that?
Flacco, this next team has nothing to do with them, but this next team is the Drunken Dragons, chilling down here in the 7th spot. Not feeling great about that myself. But only 640 points for, but I got 2 wins. I'm not feeling super great right now. Not sure what's going wrong. Thought the team was looking pretty good at the start of the year. I mean, we both did, obviously, where I was in the power
we had
rankings.
faith.
I mean, obviously, the Pacheco and AJ Brown injury duo is that's really dragging the team down.
You know what? That might have been part of it. CJ Stroud has not been quite as good as we hoped. CeeDee Lamb has really not. Can we talk about the first 12 picks of the draft or something just not being great? Yeah. I mean, the first 5 picks alone: CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Bijan Robinson, Breece Hall, and Christian McCaffrey. You wanted none of those.
Yeah, not.
I feel like the Drunken Dragons got a really bad shake. You draft 4 running backs, all 4 running backs are out. I mean, you look at Pacheco, Jones, White, and Singletary. I mean, what do you do? Who do you start there?
You start Rico Dowdle and whoever this Sermon guy is. I don't even know his first name.
Sermon, dude. Hey, Rico Dowdle. He had his breakout. He's coming.
Yeah, man. This could be Rico Dowdle's time. You never know.
They're on their way.
Yeah, I'm not gonna blame injuries entirely. I think injuries play a part of it. I also think it's like Josh said though, just some of the guys not really coming through so far.
Yeah, early picks. They've been rough this year.
We've fallen now though to the lowest of the low. These teams. Look, the season's not over, but you got to shake it up. Things aren't working for you right now. Y'all got 1 win. But the team with 1 win that we see the most potential in, only down 1 spot from where we originally ranked them this season, and that is going to be Big Steve's, Big Ballers. You got 670 points for, but you only got 1 win. Your team's not bad, man. I don't know. You guys got any thoughts?
Yeah, Drake London. He's good.
Yeah, Drake London been a huge hit. This is my city, as his nickname would say.
Here's my personal take. Deshaun Watson's on your team. That's bad juju. Drop him. You have a Josh on there. Josh Jacobs, doing good. Jaden Reed, love the guy. But he benched Rashid Shaheed. That's no faith in your team. You have to trust Rashid Shaheed to have a bang week instead of a week.
He has so much depth, and he needs to make some trades. I mean, he doesn't have that like X factor guy, but he has so many players that like he can't fit. Like Shaheed, who he just needs to move some of these players. Yeah. He's got Stevenson on his bench, Charbonnet on his bench, Tank Dell on his bench.
He definitely benched
startable players.
He benched Ramondre, I guarantee, because he saw that Ramondre was getting benched for Antonio Gibson, and it was one drive of Gibson, and then Ramondre came back in and ran away with the game. I mean,
if
not
he played Ramondre and Shaheed tonight, he would have won.
Damn.
You got the talent, just not making the right calls, it looks like right now.
Eve, this one's on you.
Coming up next, though, the team that we have in 9th place, and I do want to say they've fallen 4 spots from their original ranking, and they only ranked that high because one of the hosts of this show, not named Tyler, really pushed for this team. But this is the Bong Side Kicks here. The second fewest points scored in the league, only 1 win. Did get their first win this week, though. They're on the rise. Josh, what did you see in this team, and what happened?
Well, all right. Here's what I saw in this team. Brock Bowers. He's going to end up as the tight end 1 on the year. I'm pretty convinced. Because no one else is performing. Kelsey's back to performing, but not quite as much. I did have more faith in Caleb Williams back then. This last week, he's proved me a little bit more right. Same with Patrick Mahomes, aside from the whole proving me right thing. And, I mean, he had Saquon Barkley. He had J.K. Dobbins, who got off to a hot start. And he had Jalen Waddle, which, you know, was good until his quarterback was gone. He was capable of putting up some points before, and that has kind of gone away. Maybe he'll be able to shake it up. I think Saquon is still an insanely good back, and I think that his quarterbacks, if he can start making the right bench start play, will be great. But yeah, I mean, he's down here for a reason.
Yeah. 9th, but you got your first win, so we'll see what the rest of the season has for you, buddy. In the last spot, the worst overall ranked team in the league. They were also the worst team ranked in what was it, week 3? Week 3?
Yeah.
Yep. And I would love to know. I don't know. Do you remember where we ranked them to start the season? Because I'm also pretty sure it was on the lower side. It might have been
at the very start of the season. We ranked them at we ranked them 6th. Nope, 7th.
All right. So you're struggling right now. You're struggling. I don't really know what else to say besides that. You got the fewest points for in the entire league. I think you scored like 79 points total this week. Your running backs are kind of trash. Your wide receivers are kind of trash. I mean, you did have the Puka Nacua injury. I'll give you that. But besides that, your team is just pretty bad.
And you drafted 3 tight ends.
The 3 tight end draft strategy is certainly very.
It hasn't paid off because he hasn't been able to trade any of them.
Yeah, the 3 tight end strategy. That's probably where this team went wrong, to be honest with you.
I would agree. And I'm going to segue this directly into my down bad manager of the week because it is the Aaron Rodgers hate club. Because if you look at the Aaron Rodgers hate club, you see Evan Ingram out. They played him. Oh, what a dumb guy. And then you look at their bench saying, who could they have played instead? This may be our first 100% correct start-sit performance by a manager this year because not a single point was scored on that bench. They were either out or on bye. Or they were Drake May, who's technically not like out, but
is not playing.
Is not playing. That's rough.
That's rough.
Make a change. Fix it. You're gonna, because right now, it looks like, right now I'm gonna be choosing what song you're singing. It might be Andrew. by the end of the year.
Good taste.
Yeah. Very good taste. But yeah, that's our power rankings and our down bad manager of the week.
And our down bad manager of the week. Yes.
Which brings us into a new segment.
Honestly, the
that
segment that
Andrew
I
has
have been
brought.
most excited for.
I'm
this
very
episode.
curious, which is McConkey's quotes. Andrew has.
It's McConkey's quote corner.
Oh, sorry. McConkey's quote corner.
Yes, thank you.
Sorry. I'll give you the floor because I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, well, I just wrote down a couple quotes from the past episodes. When something would go wrong, or not wrong, but when something would spike my interest, I'd write it down so that whenever, I came on here, I could, as a member of the league, ask you each, mostly, huh? Or what? In response to some of the things you said. So I'm going to go through. I only have like 4 or 5 of these. Okay, so we'll be quick. Starting with week 1, we have Tyler. You guys are talking about Brock Purdy.
I know this one.
Tyler goes, Brock Purdy's really like Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes. And Josh goes, I was thinking Alex Smith.
Actually, I said he was like Tom Brady or LeBron James.
Yes, my mistake.
Sorry. Oh, good defense.
I stand by it because I didn't just say it straight up. I went on to explain that it was because he helps get the best out of his teammates. He's a system player. He works with, I made the argument, but yeah, out of context, I can see why that might.
I would just like to say it was not much better in context. It was still
Stand by it.
you saying you said, oh, he makes the team around him better. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes does that. Tom Brady does that. But you could have chosen so many other quarterbacks that do that. Tua does that. You could have said Tua.
Tua might have been a better comparison. I won't lie. Tua would have been a good comparison. But I still stand by what I said. I will not.
That's great. But I think Alex Smith is a lot closer. He's better than Alex Smith.
I think Alex Smith, like prime Alex Smith, was dead on. But that's just me. I view him as a system quarterback, and I think that's what Alex Smith was the top tier of.
He has good weapons around him, and he can use them. That's what he is. And this year he has been showing that he can move around in the pocket. He is making plays. Like, he is putting the team on his back a little bit this year, and it is really impressive. But he ain't LeBron, Yeah.
All right, my next quote. This is back to Tyler. Week 2 now. So Josh and Tyler are talking about Tyreek Hill getting arrested. And Tyler says,
I know this one too. I know.
I don't actually.
I do.
He goes, hey man, if he puts up points on the field, then I don't care what he does in his personal life. Josh goes, well, he is getting arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that
like,
one I don't stand by.
I
do think
arguably I stand by it more than than your last one.
I do think immediately after we mentioned Deshaun Watson too, I'm pretty sure we immediately were like, well, okay, but Deshaun Watson, you know what? Never mind. So like I said, I don't stand by that one. I was incorrect in that statement.
Yeah, I mean,
depending on the crime, it may or may not matter whether I care.
The unfortunate thing is that there's a curve of like prime to fantasy points scored, and
it's like the hot crazy curve.
It's exactly the hot crazy curve. And if you land over here, then like, listen, Tyreek, if you're winning me the year, like, I'll turn a blind eye. Maybe I won't draft you next year, but this year, okay. That was Rushy Rice this year. I was like, okay, you've been kind of shit. You drove your car. It's been a little bit of a street race. Might have had an assault or something. But I think we'll win. Now he's injured, and I'm just like, good. He's not a great person probably, and I leave it at that. But
All right, I just have two or three more. We'll go on to week 3. Now this goes to Josh. Week 3, you two are talking about Bryce Young. You say, imagine if you took a man with the stature of Kyler Murray, but you took all of the skill and rushing ability out. That's Bryce Young.
I stand by that 100%.
The man is no longer a starter.
I am a Kyler Murray stand. That one, I'm not an Anthony Richardson stand. Kyler Murray, though, he will be a keeper next year and the year after. He will run this team into the ground, goddammit. And Bryce Young.
Championship, so.
Or a championship. That would be better.
All right, we got week 4. This is from the SCLSU Mud Dogs.
Oh.
Drake May can eat my ass.
Hey.
No, we were doing that here.
I'm not
I thought
sure
this
if
is
that's
a family-friendly
insult.
podcast. Okay.
Listen, I know we don't have the budget for bleeping yet. And we needed the runtime. So what are you going to do? We wanted him off, but these Bills fans, they're getting rowdy. Right? I don't think they're going to get better with these losses either.
At least Drake May
And then
will have
my
a full career.
He will. Hey, a career is it starts and ends when a player decides, and Josh Allen's career will be full. It'll just be short. Almost as short as Bryce Young.
That will do it for McConkey's quote corner. I hope you enjoyed.
Those are good quotes. I liked that Tyler's quotes were ones that we disagreed with, and mine was a funny one.
I loved this segment. Please.
This was a good
I'd
segment.
love to have this segment again. Maybe at the end of the season.
Yeah, we'll have you on again at some point in the
I'll
year.
see you all in the playoffs.
If you keep, yeah, it haunts my dreams that I'm going to see you in the playoffs. I face you next week, by the way. Fun fact. I was going to actually, what a segue. I was going to choose you as my upset of the week because my team is broken. Nico Collins has gone from day to day to week. Achane, who the fuck knows? Probably, I mean, he's on a bye week next week anyway. Same with Tyreek Hill. Basically, my team's in shambles, so there's a good chance that you end my streak. But I didn't want to do that because you got to believe in yourself. And so, my pick for next week as my upset of the week, which, by the way, I was wrong last week. Tyler was correct. Tyler stuck with the bong side kicks, who did make their comeback. I went with who did I go with? I believe I went with the Charmin Ultra Softies over Notorious Scoundrels. And
didn't pay off. Did not
do it. This week, I am going to be choosing the Big Steve's Big Ballers over the Charmin Ultra Softies that did me wrong last week. The People's Champion, Big Steve, is going to be catching up with his second win of the year. And, I mean, there's not much to say. I like the team. Drake London's facing the Panthers. That's a pretty easy matchup. Josh Jacobs and Jaden Reed facing the Cardinals. That's a super easy matchup. Yeah, and David Montgomery facing Dallas. They've been a run funnel. Dallas can't stop the run. I think he's going to eat. So I just think that he's going to be able to eke it out over the Charmin Ultra Softies. Now, Tyler, I already saw what you picked, and I get it. I don't appreciate it, but I get it.
Yeah, man. Look, this pick, I mean, it's like last week. I didn't want to pick against myself, even if it's a good pick. But yeah, no, my upset of the week, Andy, I'm taking you to beat this man and give him his first L of the season. You dropped 200 points 2 weeks in a row. Your team's on the rise. I mean, now that Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase figured out what the hell is going on with the Bengals, even if that team somehow only has one win, they're still putting up the points you need. Your team's back. Your team's where it's supposed to be. And like Josh says, his team's on the downfall a little bit right now. Still 5-0, but questionable questions in the next couple weeks need to be answered regarding injuries. So, yeah, I'm taking McConkey here.
Yeah. Yeah, and unfortunately, I like the pick. We still have to decide on what our end of season punishment's going to be. I'm leaning towards you have to buy a jersey for the star player of the other team. I kind of like that suggestion from Jordan. We'll get a knockoff somewhere, but
No, I like something like that. We're close.
Yeah.
I do like the jersey.
more suggestions in the comments if you feel so inclined. But that brings us to Tyler's degenerate gambling corner. Tyler.
All right, let's get it cooking. Welcome to Tyler's Degenerate Gambling Corner with my fellow degenerate gambler, Andy. We text most weeks regarding the games. We've been cooking so far in the year. The Rams have been doing us right so far. Rams are on the bye though, I believe, this week. So not going to be able to bet the Rams this week. That said, we did absolutely cook this week. We went 3 for 3 with the picks on the show. What did we have? We had the Vikings did indeed cover the spread against Green Bay. I don't even remember what my other picks were. Oh, first quarter over 7. That was another one with Houston and Bills. And then, does anyone remember what the final pick was? No? All right. I'm gonna bring it back. Give me 5.
Scroll up.
I was going to say, I'm trying to scroll up right now. It was, Bucks Falcons. We took Bucks plus 7.5. That hit too. Overtime game. Falcons did eke out the win, but we still covered on the spread, so we're good there. Coming up this week and on this segment in general, it's going to be a really, really special edition of the segment. I got a couple picks this week that I'm going to throw out and get Andy's feedback on, but in addition to that, I got some futures lined up that I want to talk about this week and get your feedback on, Mr. McConkey. I also know you yourself brought some long shot bets, trying to help Josh turn that 93 cents into that $10 threshold we agreed on.
Oh, by the way, we're at 93 fucking cents now.
Josh is back up within 93 cents. So getting right into it, we'll start off with some picks for this upcoming week. We got Arizona at Green Bay. Green Bay to cover the 5-point spread, minus 112. I feel pretty good about that.
Wait, does that game have Arizona beating Green Bay?
No, Green Bay to cover a 5-point spread against Arizona.
To win by more than 5.
Minus 112. I feel like Green Bay's on the rise right now. Jordan Love coming back. Arizona's good, not great. You guys got any thoughts on that one?
LaFleur is a great offensive coach. Like, they are cooking, and Arizona has no fucking defense. Like, this is going to be a good game. This will, be a good shootout of a game, probably, and I do think Packers can win by that 5.
I like the numbers of the over-under on points. I would stay away from a side because Arizona doesn't make any sense to me. I love Green Bay, but Arizona lost to Washington, but then just beat San Francisco last week. I have no idea what I'm getting from them week to week.
The Commanders are just good, I'm telling you.
This is true. Divisional games, though, I feel like can be a little wonky like that. But no, definitely a team to be concerned about. You never know. And Green Bay, definitely nothing of a solid team.
You guys see jammies?
He looks so cute.
Put that in the comments.
Drop everyone compliment Josh's pajamas in the comments. Coming up next though, we're taking the Bucks plus 7.5 at the Saints, and we're taking Mayfield and Carr to each have 200 yards. Both these quarterbacks have been really, really efficient this year. I think this is gonna be a really close game between the two This is with the NFC South has come around, man. NFC South used to be the worst division. They're a tough division now. But I'm still taking the Bucks to cover that 7.5 in this game. I don't feel confident enough to take them over the Saints. Andy, how do you feel about that?
I feel like you can just ride with the Bucks most week in plus money. They just hang around. They're never gonna get blown out. They're never gonna like blow a team out. It's a great pick either way.
I actually love that. That is so true, and I really agree with that. If you give them plus anywhere from plus 7.5 to plus 9.5 any week, they're probably gonna have you. Finally, we got the Chargers at the Broncos, and if I wrote this down correctly, the Broncos are underdogs in this game, plus 130. The Broncos 3-2 on the season right now. A strange team. I feel like, when we're talking about this, don't know what you're going to get from them week to week. Bo Nix looks really great some weeks, other weeks doesn't, still has a lot of that rookie in him. So what do you guys think about that? You guys taking the Broncos at home as underdogs?
I like the Broncos. I feel like Bo Nix has just been getting better. And their defense specifically has been very good. Specifically their passing defense, which is not the Chargers' main point of attack, but I do like the Broncos here.
Yeah, I mean, when you're betting on an underdog, you're never locking in a sure pick, or typically at least, you're not locking in a sure pick. But at plus 130, I think the line's pretty good, so that's definitely something I'd look at. Andy, I'd love to kick it over to you now, actually, and start hearing about a couple of these long shot bets you have.
Yeah, let me get my notepad.
Yeah, so my goal was, I'm taking off of last week's Josh's number, which I think was 36 cents.
Yeah.
So I went through and I looked and I found a couple bets that you could place that would get you from 36 cents to Tyler's quota of $10. Which, by the way, is crazy. First of all, that you said you'll never make it to $10. That should have been in the quote list. That's like 25 times in your money. But nevertheless, like here's some
easy money on my way.
So, let's see. You could take either the Commanders or the Bengals to win the Super Bowl. 36 cents will get you $11.16. I will have you know, in researching all of these, I bet 36 cents on each of these bets. So if any of these hits, you're getting paid.
Fuck yeah.
I'm sorry, are those teams were the Commanders and the Chargers?
The Bengals.
Okay.
Or the Bengals.
Commanders
wait,
or?
if either of them win?
Yeah. Well, no. You bet the Commanders or you bet the Bengals.
Okay. I was going to say, because
Bengals Commanders Super Bowl.
Is it bad that the one I have faith in is the Commanders?
No, not at all.
I actually think I'm going to put some money on the Commanders to win the Super Bowl.
Next up, this one's my favorite one for you. It's a division winners parlay. The 49ers, the Eagles, the Ravens, the Texans, the Bills, and the Lions to all win their division. It's all the favorites except for the Lions. The Vikings are the favorites there. And that is 36 cents will win you about $10.
I have very mixed feelings on that because I agree with you that on surface level, that sounds like such a good bet. I've done these type parlays before. Division winners, NCAA conference winners. I've done this before. I've found that when you go with the favorites, nothing ever always goes as expected. Somebody always fucks it up for everyone. I don't know. This is like the Dolphins turning around and win the division, or fucking like the Commanders win the division, some type of bullshit. But honestly, I do agree. If you're going to put your money somewhere, that might be the one still.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
I like the Commanders to win the Super Bowl.
I have a couple more that I think you might like. For instance,
I want to hear them.
Week 6, Brandon Aubrey to kick a 67+ yard field goal. 36 cents wins you $9.
What? I'm sorry. Can you repeat that, please?
The Brandon Aubrey.
Okay, so we had
Yep.
this coming
we
week.
had
So
a
it does have to be
like-
this week. This week he's
Yeah,
going to
it has to
hit
be
a
this week.
67-yard field goal or farther. That's.
and you win $9.
so
I feel like those odds are horrible. What are the odds? Those should be the odds he even attempts a 67+ yard field goal.
well, because if he attempts it, he hits it. Obviously.
Sure, but still. Don't place
But
that.
maybe though.
That one's not.
Oh, sorry, it's placed.
So can I ask, where the hell did you find that line?
This one I found on FanDuel. Under the weekly specials tab.
FanDuel always has some wild shit, man.
Andrew's got it.
BetMGM too. If you're ever looking for, like, especially during the Super Bowl, wild prop bets, BetMGM. It's the only time of year I use it.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
Next one. Patriots Texans this coming week.
Okay.
Patriots minus 18.5. 36 cents wins you $10.80.
Oh, they got it.
He had me in the first half. I'm not gonna lie.
I just have to bet on the Patriots and win money.
You gotta bet on them to win by 19.
Isn't that just a couple touchdowns and a few field goals? It's
Imagine
nothing.
the Patriots win, like, it would have to be like 24-3, because the Patriots aren't scoring more than like 24 points in any given week. Yeah, what's
They
the
would have
line
to
on
just shut out the
Patriots to not
Texans.
score over 30 points this season? I need that.
That's probably like plus
A
100.
CJ Stroud injury and then a couple pick sixes.
That's really all.
Yeah.
It would have to be like 2 defensive touchdowns. That's the only way we're getting there.
Yeah.
But all
Christian
right,
Gonzalez just
don't
returns it
hate
twice.
it. I don't hate it. Crazier things have happened.
Dude, I'm about to bet 36 of my 80 or 93 cents on the Commanders to win the Super Bowl and just hope.
You keep coming back to that.
Dude,
We get it. We
well,
get it.
I forget if I said in my depression of the Browns with how Deshaun Watson sucks, I've decided that this year I'm bandwagoning the Commanders. And I did that in week 2. And now for the 3 weeks since, they've just had an unstoppable offense. I won't care about them once Deshaun is gone. But
Well,
right
let's
now,
bring-
it feels like the calling.
Let's bring you back to your Browns. Because if the Browns win their division, you can turn your 36 cents into $11.52. The Browns are like plus 4,000 right now to win the division.
Dude,
Not the
That-
conference, just the division.
Yo, there are worse things
Wait.
out there, actually. The Browns
Dude.
have crazy good defense
if the Browns got Joe Flacco this week,
right now.
I firmly believe they could win the division.
Yeah, that line will change, though, if they get Joe Flacco. I guarantee it.
Yeah, you got to do it now. And hope that they finally decide to bench Deshaun Watson, because once they do, man, this is the most expensive team in the NFL, by the way. Just a note.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah. They can't do, there's not a single football thing that this team can do, but they are paid the most to not do it. It feels bad, man. But man,
Andy,
I love
anything else
those.
for
Thank
us?
you, Andrew.
Yeah, I'll wrap it up quick. I've got the Packers. I don't know if you guys like the Packers, but the
Love the
Packers to win the West, you have to parlay that with any one of your choice to win the East, and your minimum odds are plus 4,100. So 36 cents wins you $15 if you do Packers and any one of your choice in the East. The lowest would be the Chiefs at $15 for you.
Huh.
Not bad.
Don't hate that.
I'll give you one
the
last
Packers,
one.
but not that much.
I don't know.
The last one that I cooked up is 4 teams to make the playoffs. The Lions,
Yeah,
Cardinals,
I like it.
That's a stretch.
the Chargers,
I don't hate that.
and the Bears.
No.
Plus
The Bears is a tough one.
3,536 wins you $13.
That one's
I think the Cardinals can do it because honestly, at this point, their division is kind of all shitting the bed together.
you just wait.
Wait for what?
One of my bets.
Oh. Moving on to Tyler's futures.
Yeah, we'll wrap up quick. This has already been a long episode.
Yeah. Been a lot to talk about.
The first one I want to go over, and this is, I'm not even sure if I like this line, but I also just want your opinion on what the hell is happening with this team. The Bengals are currently plus 140 to make the playoffs. What's up with the Bengals? Are they going to turn it around?
I mean,
Oh, go ahead, Josh.
oh. Not as hard as the Commanders.
All right, Andy,
But-
what do you think about the Bengals?
I love the Bengals. I mean, I'm like how you. I feel like everyone who has players on their team likes that team. I have Burrow and Chase, so I'm a Bengals fan this year, and I'm in Dynasty. I also have Burrow, so I'm a huge Bengals fan this year and most years. You should bet against them to make the playoffs based on the numbers. Like any team that starts like 1-4 or whatever they are, is like they have such a low statistical chance of making the playoffs. I think that this team is not special enough to overcome the numbers. You have to get like a cakewalk schedule. They still get the Ravens. They still get that Browns defense. They still get the Steelers. I love the Bengals. I want them in the playoffs. They've gotten just some bad luck, and the numbers say that you're not going to make it. And also plus 124 or whatever it is, they should be like plus 400 right now to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's only at plus 140. Next up, I really like this one. I'm not going to lie. We got the 49ers plus 110 to win their division.
That one is actually
The
kind
49ers
of
are
wild.
still a
That
really
they're,
good team. They haven't had the best start. They're missing Christian McCaffrey. Plus, a positive line for the 49ers to win their division in general is insane to me. Thoughts?
Yeah.
Thoughts? Feedback? Bueller. All right.
You don't have the Rams, right? The Rams aren't going to win it. So it's a 3-horse race. In which case, you got to ask, is Arizona going to get good? I think Arizona is so weird. Sometimes they're great. Also, now they have the tiebreaker over the 49ers. So 49ers don't have to beat Arizona's record to get in. I like it. I would place it.
I
believe
think
in
that's a good bet.
I agree.
But
I
yeah,
agree. I really like that one. This last one, I'm trying to pull it up because I was expecting to be able to pull it up because it's a very weird bet, but
I'm
basically,
reading it in the show doc and it confuses me.
yeah, basically the bet was, it was like a list of like 7 or like 6 states, right? And it was plus 115 for any team outside of those 6 states to win the championship. And the 6 states were, I believe, were like New York, New Jersey, California, Texas, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and I think there was one more because they counted New York, New Jersey as one for the sake of the Giants. But it's a really interesting proposition to me. I mean, you're basically Ohio was the last team, which is weird because that's the Bengals and the Browns. So I don't think either of them are winning. It's interesting. I mean, most of your favorite teams to win the championship are in those states, but
Except the Chiefs, right?
Except exactly, the Chiefs is the big one, and you're getting teams like the Detroit Lions, Minnesota Vikings. You're getting the whole NFC North, basically.
Oh, the
So,
Vikings too. I mean, at this
Yeah.
rate, the Vikings right now are.
The line, I don't love the line. It's only plus 115. I just found it such an interesting bet, though.
Yeah, but right now, I mean, obviously the favorites for the Super Bowl matchup right now are Vikings Chiefs.
And you're getting either of those teams
So
for plus 115. It's pretty. It's pretty good.
yeah, I'm curious how the odds change if you just took the like. If I bet that the matchup is going to be Vikings Chiefs, what are my odds on that? You know.
That's a great question.
Also, you're tying up your money for so long. It's October 7th. I'm recording this. You're gonna tie up your money for 4.5 months on a plus 115 bet. To me, if I'm tying up money for that long, I want it to be at least plus 3, plus 400.
Yeah, I've got money tied up in some MVP,
That's fair.
Offensive Player of the Year, and Comeback Player of the Year that I'm probably going to lose all of it, but at least it's high odds or long odds. Also, I like you saying it's October 7th when we're recording this, as if like people in the future will be listening to this. Not like, oh, what weeks did they record this one? This will be listened to about 6 to 7 times in the next 5 days and never again.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
And on that note, that's
and on that note, yeah, that's all we got for you guys today. I'm at 93 cents. Follow me on my journey back to $10 to win another $10 from Tyler, or I have to give all my money to him / $10.
honestly, you don't even have to give me anything if you lose. I will just give you the $10. You know, if you don't get to $10, you have to give me whatever it is that you do have.
Deal.
12 cents, $6, whatever it is.
All right. But that is it. I have gone this whole show without acknowledging the fact that Andrew is wearing a tiny cowboy hat, and I've been very proud of that fact. And
Honestly, I forgot. Even though I'm looking right at it.
and I really hope that our next guest brings the same energy that we've gotten on these last couple, because I really enjoyed sitting there knowing that you were wearing that, but choosing not to say anything as if it was a normal thing. So, hope you all enjoyed. Thank you, Andrew, for joining us, bringing some insight into our betting. I hope that I beat you next week, but I'm terrified, and that's it. I won't sleep well for a good week, but that's okay.
Thank you both for having me. It's been a blast.
Of course.
Absolutely. And we will see you next week. In the meantime, set your fucking lineups. Watch some football. Oh, last fucking thing. Not to you two, but I'm actually just saying, like, people, come over to my place next Sunday. Simmons was saying he wanted to come over to watch football next Sunday. And so I'm going to send out a message as well, but, like, let's get people together to watch some football. Looking at you, Victor. I'm going to send this to Eve so you hear it, even though it's the last thing. But anyway,